Hey everyone, I'm Yunzhe and I'm the founder of 1 Month Projects, an online career accelerator that helps people take the next scary step towards their dream careers through a hands-on project. I graduated from UVA in 2015, and while there I spent a lot of my summers working at local Charlottesville startups. Was really involved with Hacksyville and also headed the marketing for The Pioneer, which used to be Hacksyville Media back in the day when I worked with Daniel Wilson. And I really liked working at startups. So when I graduated, I wanted to be at the best place for startups, which is Silicon Valley. So I packed my bags and moved across the coast to San Francisco, where I am at now. I spent the last 3 years working at my dream job, which was an education technology company called Degree that helps people learn better. This October actually marks the 1 year anniversary of me quitting my job last year to launch 1 Month Projects. How 1 Month Projects came around was actually due to a series of setbacks. When I moved out to the West Coast, I thought that I was basically set. I had my dream job and I was working there. And about 3 months in, I set up a meeting with my manager. At that time, I was still interning, so I wanted to talk about converting to full-time. And I had a pretty good feeling about this full-time conversion. I was actually banking on it, especially since I packed my bags to move out here, as well as gave up some full-time offers at these bigger companies. And when the meeting happened, I brought it up, and basically she told me that there was no position for me. That was a huge shock and just really crushed my dreams. And that moment was when I realized that if I don't take responsibility for my life, then no one else will. If I don't have the skills of what it takes to go after what I want, no one is going to hand it to me. That was in October 2015. And so when 2016 rolled around, I was really determined to not be in that same position again. And so I plan to dedicate that whole year to gaining skills and exploring what I want. So I started giving myself these 1 month challenges in areas that either I want to explore or that I wanted to improve in. Here's a list of the projects that I did in 2016. As you can see, it ranges from personal to professional. Here are a couple of my favorite ones. In January, I really wanted to write, so I made a goal to start a blog, and I kept it running for a couple of months with my roommates. In March, back then, I was still really shy, and I wanted to meet new people because I felt like I didn't really have a friend group of my own. My friend group in SF was basically my roommates' coworkers, so wanted to branch out. So I set up a challenge for myself to go to an event every week by myself to meet strangers. In August, I explored more career alternatives because I was really interested in how to be a digital nomad, how to work remotely, how can I create my own MBA. And at the end of the year, I focused more on relationships. The result of those 12-month experiments has been incredible, amazing, and also really surprising that most of the projects actually didn't end when the month ended, but it became habits over time and became really integrated into my life. Now, writing is a huge part of my morning daily routine and a huge part of my work as well. I have writing clients. The impact of those 1 month projects were just incredible because I got to explore and taste these different lifestyles and really experience how life would be like if I lived that way or concentrated on that value for that month. In a sense, it was a lot like personal sprints or these quick iterations that got me closer to what I wanted to do, knowing what I wanted to do, as well as honing all these different set of skills. And that was also what made it possible for me to create a 2-month learning bootcamp for myself when I quit last October. I really wanted to figure out if I wanted a career in writing or instructional design, which was basically creating learning experiences. And I took what I learned from the last 2 years to create these projects. These projects ranged from writing 750 words per day to interviewing top course designers from Stanford, LinkedIn, Coursera, to building a chatbot from scratch for this online productivity course. At the end of the Learning Bootcamp, I discovered two things. One, I wanted to combine both writing and instructional design as an ideal career. And two, after seeing how much impact these 1 month projects has made in my life and how I was able to accelerate careers and switch careers in 2 months, I wanted to bring more of that into the world. And that's why I launched 1 month projects in the beginning of this year. Because it is possible to love your work and to love your career. My ideal career was something in social impact, something that I would enjoy doing, and something that would allow me to travel. I actually just got back from traveling and hosting workshops in Malaysia and Bali this summer. And you can too. Here are 3 tips that you can use to get one step closer to your ideal tech career. First is learn by doing. In education, there's this thing called learn by doing, where you're taking the knowledge and information that you're reading about and you're translating it into actual skills by applying it and practicing it. Bradify Labs does a really great job of this by connecting students with internship projects. 1 month projects also does something similar by creating a project that will give you hands-on experience. The benefits are threefold. First, you get experience. Second, you get to learn what you like and what you don't like. And third, at the end of it, you have this artifact to show for the time that you're spending on this. And it can act as a portfolio for when you apply to jobs. So it's win-win-win. Second is trust yourself. This is often the hardest thing to do because society is always telling us that we should get a job that is really prestigious or gives you the most money. Our parents are constantly telling us to go for something stable. All my mom wanted for me was to get a job in accounting, and I know that she had my best interests at heart, but oftentimes it's really their best interests for you that's at heart. And only I know that accounting is something that I would not feel fulfilled by, and I would find it boring, and it's only me who will experience that day after day. So I invite you to look deeper within yourself. Whether it's a grand future vision or a childhood dream that you've been putting off or hiding or repressing, oftentimes those are the things that scares us the most, but the things that will make it most meaningful. And it's really up to you. It's your responsibility to put effort into that, to trust yourself and go after it rather than something standard that may be less meaningful. And third is making it easy for yourself. Here's a couple ways that you can do this. First is environment. Put yourself in an environment that will help you achieve your goals. For me, it was being in SF, moving out here to be in this environment where creating things and starting your own company is the norm. That helped me so much, as well as the amazing people that I met here and the incredible support system. 2 is asking for help. And this is also very hard and scary. Oftentimes we are scared to ask for help because that means putting ourselves out there and potentially facing that rejection. But oftentimes, as I've found repeatedly, people are so happy and so willing to help. For every job that I had, whether it was internship, advice, or getting my dream job, or my first client, it was because someone has helped and supported me along the way. And the most important thing is that I put myself out there and I ask. It's your responsibility to make the outreach and to make it known. There's this great marketing quote that says, doing business without advertising is like winking in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. These are the best ways to safe-proof your future, by getting experience, finding something that you're genuinely interested in, and working effectively. And it's okay to fail. I started 1 month projects because of a setback, and I have this story from college days as well. I was on the pre-commerce track and I got deferred, and that felt like the biggest rejection in the world. For 2 years I had a set path and suddenly it was gone. And it really gave me an opportunity to reflect on what I wanted to do that may have not been a set track, and also inspired me to take more initiative. There were still a lot of classes in the business school that I wanted to take, so I started cold emailing professors and having chats with them to get into their classrooms. That experience has helped me so much. I learned how to reach out to people, how to cold email, how to take initiative, and I started creating this learning curriculum that was my ideal, a mix between psychology and business, and really set the foundations for creating my own projects in the future. And lastly, here are a couple of my favorite books that was super helpful for me as I was creating my ideal career and making it out into the tech scene. First is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Second is So Good That They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. And third is Designing Your Life by these Stanford professors. Looking forward to seeing what you decide to do with this advice and how you end up implementing it into your life. Hope to see you in San Francisco.